It's Barry Doyle. What we're going to be talking about today is what is an IME in a workers' compensation case and why being sent to one should make the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. An IME is an independent medical exam, and the independent part gets the little finger quote treatment because it's not really an independent medical exam. When you think of something being independent, you think of a neutral third party being involved. It's not what happens. When you get sent to an IME, it's an exam that you're being sent to by a doctor who's chosen by either your employer or their workers' compensation carrier. You don't have any say in who gets to go, and if you don't go, they get to cut your benefits off. What happens with an IME is it's not really an independent exam. They have a pretty darn good idea of what the result is going to be before you ever show up in the doctor's office. So let's talk about what an IME is in a little bit more context. When you get hurt on the job, you're entitled to three basic benefits. You get temporary total disability benefits, which is 2/3 your average weekly wage while you're off. You get your medical expenses paid for, reasonable necessary medical care that's related to the accident at issue. And then you get a settlement in the end of the case for permanency that's related to the injury. Now, what happens with an IME is that as you go through the process of being off work, of getting care that's related to your work-related accident, the insurance company is entitled to get copies of your medical records as they go through. And as the case goes on and the amount of money that they've paid out for disability benefits and for medical expenses starts to mount, they start to look more closely at the case. And this is especially true when you have a fairly serious injury where they're talking about surgery, where they're talking about injections, where they're talking about an extended period of time off work, where there's something that's major that's going on that can cost them some money. So they have all of your medical records, and what they do is they forward them on to a doctor. And it's not a mystery who they're going to send these things to. There's a handful of doctors in every field of medicine who tend to get these independent medical exams over and over and over again. And the fact of the matter is that they're pretty darn lucrative appointments for the doctor. When I talk to clients who go to them, they say, well, it was 15 minutes, it was a half hour. And then eventually when I see the billing statement for the medical exam, it's $1,000, it's $1,500, it's $1,800. And then they start writing a report and they give a deposition. Before you know it, they've made $4,000 or $5,000 off of the one examination of you. It's not a mystery to the doctor what the insurance company is looking for. They're looking for a handful of basic results. One, that the injury wasn't really related to the accident. Second, that you don't need the more expensive cares that your own doctors are recommending. Or that you're all better and that you're okay to go back to work without restrictions even though your doctor is saying otherwise. And these are all things that justify the insurance company cutting off benefits. So, when you're off work, you're only getting 2/3 your average weekly wage. It's enough to put food on the table. It's enough to pay the rent. It makes things tight. And as soon as they say, well, we're not paying disability benefits anymore, things get very tight indeed. You start having to make a choice about which bills are going to get paid, which ones aren't. You start dipping into savings. You get cut off from medical care. You show up at your doctor's office and somebody comes out and says, Dr. Smith can't see you today. The insurance company didn't approve your visit, but if you want to pay cash, he'll see you. And it puts you in a tight spot indeed, and it creates a lot of pressure on you to either give up or to settle your case or to not do the things that you really feel you need to do to maximize your recovery from the injury, in the sense of getting fully recovered physically and to get the full extent of the benefits that you're allowed to get. So getting sent to an IME should be a warning sign to you that in the end, the insurance company is really looking for an excuse to cut you off. And when they cut you off, the wolf arrives at the door very, very quickly indeed. Sort of the insidious part about the whole thing is that they're not really limited to sending you to one examination. And if they don't get the result they like the first time, they might get the result they want the second time. I had a client of mine who was injured a few years back lifting a dock plate. And his doctor was recommending surgery, and they sent him to a neurosurgeon whose name is fairly well known in legal circles. And when the client was describing me going to the exam with him, I said, let me guess. He said, there's nothing wrong with you. He goes, no. He said there was something wrong with me, but they should try some more injections before I did surgery. Well, he had the injections that were recommended. He had the surgery. He didn't have a particularly good result. His doctor is recommending some more care. And what happened then was that the insurance company sent him to another independent medical exam with another doctor. Why? They didn't like the result they got from the first one. And of course, that was a doctor who said our client didn't have an injury that was related to the accident, that the surgery was unnecessary, that he didn't need any further medical care, and it was okay to send him back to work unrestricted. The ironic part about it was the doctor didn't even know what my guy did for a living. So, when you're getting sent to an independent medical exam, you're getting sent to something that really is a rigged game. The goal of the game from the point of the insurance company is to cut you off, to limit the amount of benefits they're going to pay out to you. Now, there is a process where, if you get your benefits cut off, a workers' compensation lawyer can head into the Workers' Compensation Commission and get your benefits reinstated. But that's a process that doesn't happen immediately. If you wait until your benefits get cut off to get a lawyer in to help you, you're going to be in tough shape when the benefits actually get cut off and you find yourself without access to medical care, without your ongoing disability payments, and it creates a lot of pressure on you indeed. Now, if you have a lawyer who's working with you before you actually go in for the exam, you're in a much better position to get those benefits reinstated much more quickly, and it alleviates a lot of pressure on you. So the bottom line on things is this. If you're getting sent to a workers' compensation or an independent medical exam in a workers' compensation case, it's a warning sign to you that they're getting ready to cut you off. And once they cut you off, getting reinstated doesn't happen immediately. And forewarned is forearmed, and you want to have some help lined up before you show up at that doctor's office to get your benefits reinstated when and if they cut you off. Because believe it or not, that's the end game for them. They want to get your benefits cut off. They want to limit their exposure to your claim. So if you're getting sent to an independent medical exam, this is the time for you to get a skilled workers' compensation lawyer. Anyway, I hope this information has been helpful. It certainly should tell you why it is that what an independent medical exam is and why the hairs on the back of your neck should stand straight up if you're getting sent to one. I hope this has been helpful. If you think it's helpful, feel free to share it. It certainly is good information that could be valuable to people who are in your network. Hit like, hit share. If you need more information, you can click the link in this through to my website, www.rightsofinjuredtruckers.com. There's more information there. There's a free downloadable book that's available to you at no charge. And you can also just call my office. The number there is 312-263-1080. The call is free. We're happy to help and answer whatever questions you might have. Have a great weekend. Hope this has been helpful. Thanks so much.